Welcome back to our MineColonies Heaven and Hell playthrough, and we are starting off here inside our Heaven colony to begin with, but not for too long, because we've got a lot of things to do today, which unfortunately is going to involve some exploration. Our Heaven colony is coming along pretty nicely. We are starting to get up a lot of different tiered buildings, and we're even managing to separate our colony into a few different districts. The one that I'm stood in here at the moment is going to become our civic district, which is going to house a lot of different kind of public buildings for our citizens, such as this new tier 2 hospital, and eventually a tier 2 restaurant that we have here as well. Well, actually I thought this was a tier 2 restaurant, but they haven't actually quite finished it yet, so let me very quickly come into the build options for it and we will upgrade this. Well, continue the upgrade for it, but pretty much any building around here now that is up to at least tier 2, I am pretty happy with the placement of it. So what I'm coming to do is come and look into our builder's hut and see what we're going to require to upgrade this to tier 3, which most of the items here are pretty standard and pretty easy for us to get. There are a few ones like this thatched oak shingle, which I'm going to need to look into how to make those. The rest of it, pretty standard to do, but unfortunately it's items like these jungle planks, which means that I'm going to need to go exploring to find those. So that's what we're going to do first of all here. We are going to set out and see if we can find ourselves a jungle. But fortunately for myself, as I used a seed map to scout out this area for our Heaven colony, I also know the location of a jungle, so I'm going to head straight there at the moment, and we will get some of these items to start making some of these jungle planks and other things that they're going to require. I also have another new mod installed here, which I think is going to suit our Heaven colony really well actually, but I've yet to come across the item, so this is also another reason why we're going exploring, because I would like to see if we can find some of these new trees that I've got installed, which I think I have found one of the new trees right here actually. Yes, so we now have some nice sakura trees or some cherry blossom trees, which I think are just reskinned oak trees, but I think that the blossoms here, the kind of pink leaves, will go really nicely within our Heaven colony. So let's see if we can take down the tree and get any saplings from it, which of course our timber mod isn't going to work on this. And I believe that you can't use shears on the leaves. I think you need to use some form of silk touch to get them. So we'll just use our pickaxe badly and get these. And we just got ourselves a cherry blossom sapling as well. Okay, perfect. That means we can go around and start planting some of these cherry blossom trees too. This is going to be just perfect for Heaven, I feel. Well, that is good news, because it means that I am able to install some mods here without breaking the game entirely. Okay, onto the jungle. Well, it's not quite a jungle, but I suppose we could always use some ice around the place. Ooh, do we also want a polar bear? Those who watched my last series of MineColonies will know that whenever I do go exploring for things, I usually don't get a lot accomplished, so welcome to this exploration video, hope you enjoy. The thing with the MineColonies mod that is a bit annoying at times is that you're never quite sure what materials that you're going to require or that your citizens are going to ask of you to get them. These dead bushes here are one item in particular which during our Nordic themed builds they required a few of them, so we are going to pick up some of these if we can. Or we might not be actually, because I'm not sure how to dig them up. I hope I don't need a silk touch axe. Oh well, at least we have some rabbits around here as well, so that means that I can actually make a rabbit hutch build back in our agricultural district. It is apparently some shears that we need to dig these out, so that's fine, we'll just grab a couple of those. Oh, hello Mr. Phantom. Well, I do seem to have stumbled across another warm ocean, and we are on top of a coral reef at the moment. Unfortunately, my inventory is looking pretty full of crap here at the moment. Oh, as much as I would like to get some of these items, I think we may as well just continue along to our jungle before we become too full. No, you know what? I'm just going to make some space here. We don't need any of this junk. I might keep the bell. The rest of it can all go away planks. Right, let's go get ourselves some coral. Because that's the type of indecisive man that I am. It's really just the actual coral itself that we need for these builds, because a lot of them require them to be dried. So I'll just come down and get some of these, as well as some of these nice sea pickles here as well. Come here, you. Plus, now that I have coral, it means that I can duplicate TNT. And won't that be fun? I think I'll just gather some more coral back at our Heaven Colony. I am definitely a lot fuller than I would like to be at the moment, and we still haven't reached this bloody jungle. Although, now we have. I can just see the jungle in the distance there. Alright, let's go get some jungle supplies then. Starting off with these cocoa beans, and a tree as well. Still got too much bloody junk on me, but at least that's the jungle wood that we now have. Some bamboo as well for us, and actually, bamboo might go really nicely as well in our Heaven Colony. Could use that more as decoration than anything else. I do need to see if our tree felling mod is going to work on a tree of this size. I hope this doesn't break my axe if it does. But let's chop it, and yes it does, and it really didn't take too much health off of my axe either. I think if I could find a couple of melon spawns, then that's pretty much everything that we're going to require here from the jungle. At least I hope it is. In hindsight, I probably should have used the nether to transport down here. But you know, don't be expecting too much from me. But we have found some melons, so I do think that's everything that we're going to require here. Let's just chop a few of these up. Okay, well I think we're good here. I think that's everything that we came to the jungle for, and if it's not, then I'll just slaughter the villager that asked me for anything else. So, just to spare you guys from watching me explore some more, the next scene should be me right back at the village. So, see you in a bit. Well, we're finally back in our Heaven Colony, and unfortunately, we have a bit of an issue. Our two couriers here are just standing around at the moment inside our warehouse, just because the warehouse is now full, and they can't put anything into any of these racks, which means that we actually can't get any building done here at the moment. So I need to come straight into our warehouse, and we will have Ava upgrade this to tier 2 immediately, hopefully, just to get some more storage in. Okay, this is going to be a lot of juggling around here to begin with, especially now that I have a few new items back with me. I can't remember if I showed off our new miner's hut, or miner's tier 2 hut last time or not. I know we just had it finished, but I don't actually think we had a proper explore around the place, which it has expanded out by quite a lot, and there is a lot of different structures inside it now, which is decorative, but still pretty nice to look at. I even think that downstairs has been given a bit of a facelift here as well. We have possibly storage here, and on the other side maybe the same, although it does look as if these stairs are set up to have something placed in them at some point. Not sure how we're looking down the bottom. He has managed to dig his way down a bit further actually. How are you getting on here, Kabir? He's just waiting on a delivery of an iron pickaxe at the moment, which, yes, is going to be a problem, seeing as our delivery people aren't currently doing anything. Yes, I know that. That's exactly what I just said we're going to fix. Ava is upgrading our restaurant to tier 2 at the moment, and okay, there's a lot of things there. What about our open requests? Yes. A lot of items in here as well. I suppose what I could do in the meantime is head to our warehouse and see if I can take those items out if we have them, and just kind of speed the process up here. Maybe that might give some inventory space for them to put in their other items here. And before I even begin to search for any of these items, I have seen that our little egg apocalypse is about to begin. We have nearly 200 eggs inside our warehouse. You know, that's probably why everything is backed up here. We have eggs for absolute days. Well, eggs and potatoes for absolute days by the looks of it. Okay, I think I can maybe clear out the warehouse pretty quickly here. Right, Cole, I have a treat for you. Here are potatoes for absolute days. I want you to cook them for our people so that they do not starve, and it's going to free up a lot of inventory space inside our warehouse. And in fact, I can see that you've already made a start in making some of these baked potatoes, so well done, Cole. I still need to get these items on our open requests, but that's okay. Hopefully our delivery people will bring the rest of these items to Ava. Then we'll actually get your hut upgraded here as well then, Cole. Won't that be nice? I've literally just come back to the warehouse to get some more items, and already we have gained nearly another 20 bloody eggs. Oh god, our people's inventories are going to be full of chicken eggs here at the moment. Things are just going to go the exact same way as the last playthrough. Right, Ava, I think I have everything that you're going to require then, so let's stick all of these andesite and stair nonsense into here. How are we looking then? 63% supplied, and we've only used 1% of it. Some birch, oak and stone things left, but they are now off of my request system, so that's fine. Just flowers down the bottom from our beekeeper hut. Well, that's okay. They will need to wait until we get a florist up, and they will supply them with our flowers here. That's just to feed and keep our bees happy. I did of course collect some bamboo whilst I was out at the jungle, and what I'm thinking of doing with it is just placing it here as some decoration. We have these dark oak trapdoors around the place as well, which I think is almost acting as a kind of flower holder. I have completely forgotten the name of what I was actually talking about there. Plant pot! That's what I was thinking of. A plant pot. Flower holder plant pot. Anyway, just down the way here, our little subway system is coming along pretty nicely actually. It doesn't lead anywhere at all at the moment. We have just upgraded some of the roads here in this district, and in fact, yep, it just spins all the way around here at the moment. I don't actually think this is going to have too much use. I do wish there was some form of junction though for our railway things, because it would make this kind of subway idea more viable, I would say. At the moment in time you pretty much just have to come up to one area and loop around just to go down to another one. Maybe there's a mod out there that I can look into for that, but at the moment in time they really aren't doing too much down here, so that's the subway for you. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. And yes, I am just stalling for time until she gets that restaurant up to tier 2, and then we can move on to the warehouse. I did warn you that today wasn't going to be very productive. It's just clearly one of those moods that I'm in. Exactly. I'll tell you what then. Let's actually make a start on our little civic district here. Maybe just start actually placing some buildings around it and decorations such as this gate, and we can get some walls established as well. Just see if we can make a basic start and see how this is all going to end up like. But I'm envisioning this area being almost like a very busy market street. So it's just one big long path all the way downwards and just buildings on either side of the pathway. I would like to use our guards tower here as some form of boundary as well for where I want to place the gate. So the gate is positioned pretty nicely this direction, being right in the middle. It's just how far back this way now that I need to decide where I want to place it. No matter what, the house there for Ava is going to need to be ripped up and placed elsewhere. Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to know until I build this if this is in a good place or not, but I'm going ahead with our fancy gate 2, and we will place this here, although this is going to require a lot of red concrete. We'll do it anyway. And I do now need to come in and deconstruct Ava's house here, which is unfortunate, but we will build her up a nice tier 2 one just somewhere else around here. Speaking of upgrading buildings actually, I have been reminded about something. Here in our agricultural district there is a house that I did start making up to tier 2, which I think is just this one here behind all of the sugarcane. Yes, it's this one here. And this is for our chicken herder's hut. There was no reason for choosing this building for upgrade, it just happened that way. But yes, in order to upgrade the building to tier 2, we required some scaffolding, which of course then requires some bamboo. So that was also another reason why we went out to the jungle. So now that we have some bamboo, we can make some scaffolding, and we'll be able to upgrade the rest of these builds here to tier 2 as well. So then our citizens will have some shiny new tier 2 housing to live in. Oh dear god. And I'm thinking whilst we're at this that I will place in another tavern, and this can go into our civic district here as well. This is a tier 3 one, the maximum tier that we can have, but it's okay positioned there. The amount of taverns is limited to 1 per colony. Well, I do like the placement of the tavern over there, so what I'm going to do is come over to this one here and deconstruct it. Then we can place it over there. It's only a tier 1 tavern anyway, so that's fine. We'll deconstruct it. Well, Ava now has everything she requires for the restaurant and is nearly about a quarter way done. So this really shouldn't take too much longer to do actually. And while she does that actually, I'm going to test out an idea that I've already started over in our Hell colony, just here in our Heaven colony. Which is simple enough actually. It's just placing down a lot of these oak slabs on the bottom, which should hopefully mitigate a lot of the mobs spawning around the place. A lot more important in Hell of course, but it might look okay here in Heaven as well. This is what I'm talking about here in Hell actually. So I have these warp slabs on the bottom, and I hope that means that mobs can't spawn on top of them. So I may remove all of the grass blocks that I put down there, which was supposed to stop these mobs from spawning, and replace them with slabs instead. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Maybe you guys in the comments can let me know if that will work or not. And I'm not going to spend too long down here in Hell, but I can let you know that progress has been coming along pretty steadily. We are starting to get a lot more buildings up to the tier 2 mark, and we have gotten a few different university researches done now, in particular for our combat tree, which as you can see, we definitely have a few different researches now inside the combat tree. We are just waiting on the barracks one being done. Actually, I don't think I started it, so that'll be why that wasn't completed. But the rest of our combat research will come after we upgrade the university here, so we'll get that in time. Anyway, I've been here for all of 2 seconds and I've already seen about 5 people die, so let's get back to Heaven. Yes, I know guys, just leave me be, I will sleep eventually. Bloody hell. I will need to put some different textures into this walkway here, but yep, so far it doesn't look too bad. And actually, it's reminded me, I did ask for some ideas of how I could better decorate our agricultural district, and you guys let me know in the comments quite a lot of decent ideas actually, so that is something that I'm still planning on doing. There was one decoration in particular which I will look into making, and that was for Hell, and it was a giant middle finger. I definitely like the sounds of that, so I will definitely look into trying to place a decoration like that. But just whilst we're on that topic, if you have any suggestions on how I could better weather or texture this walkway here, I am again more than willing to listen to your suggestions and idea on how to do that. Oops, I'm stuck in a building there, but that is our restaurant now at tier 2. Well done Ava. Hopefully you will go pick up our warehouse build next, which she has just done. Okay, brilliant. I'm not going to get any more annoying messages now. And looking down the required resources for it, just a hell of a lot of oak things, some slabs and spruce. Oh damn it, that's a hell of a lot of stripped oak logs. But it's all easy enough to get, so we'll set her up with that, and then we'll upgrade that warehouse. And until I finally do get up a lumberjack to strip down these oak logs for us, unfortunately, I need to do it. And this is actually a pretty nice view of our colony just around the place actually. But anyway, let's get to stripping and chopping. And it's like 400 of these we need, so this is going to take a little while just to get down. And that's the last one. Let's pick up the stragglers. Right Ava, I hope you appreciate that. And I'm once again back to our warehouse just to get some more wood. We are now up to 300 bloody eggs. I actually think we're just going to require a warehouse purely just for eggs. This is ridiculous. Oh dear god. Although I suppose I could always put up a bakery and just have them take the eggs in and make any kind of cake things for us. At least that will give some use for all these eggs we're getting. Actually, that might not be a bad building to place down in our civic district. Ariel B. Coddington is now happily living in hell. Game, hate to tell you, but this isn't hell. At least I don't think it is. And also, happily, I doubt it. So I've skipped forward a little bit, just with the hopes of actually trying to get some things accomplished today, because I was very aware that I was mostly just pissing about than actually doing anything. I gave Ava everything that she required for her warehouse build, which she has actually completed for us. So that is our tier 2 warehouse just across the way now. Which means that we now have a lot more storage to put items in and are no longer going to get that annoying little message. But this is the new part of the building here. It's pretty much just identical to its side counterpart. Nothing too different between the two of them. It's just unfortunate that there's no way to go between the two of them without leaving one side and going into the other. And I have even better news whenever it does come to our storage. If I now come into our warehouse and look on the egg front, we are nearly up to 800 of them. So that is just absolutely fantastic. I had Ava strip down our tavern and I've picked up the build for it, so we now can place that into our civic district. And on the topic of our civic district, here is the entrance to it, right here. With Ava's house just right beside it, which I hope she's building for us. Oh well, at least she will do now at least. But coming through the gate, you have got some stairs, which just takes you up onto this pathway here. And we have got our different buildings around, which I'm going to place the tavern back over here. Just exactly placed like that, and I'm happy with it. So we'll go ahead with that build. We do have another guards tower just down the length of what will become another wall here separating out this district, but you can see this guards tower just tucked away in at the side, and it's pretty much just used just to push out the boundary a little bit here. Nothing more to it than that. I'll probably clean up this area here at some point and just put some more decorations in. As you can see, I've already made a start on another wall for it. The gate that we've placed down here is similar to the one that we have over at our agricultural district. It's just its basic form of tier 1, but we can upgrade it to tier 2 by coming into the decoration controller and just simply upgrading it. So this is going to remove all of these stripped oak logs that we have and replace them in with some red concrete eventually. Which then nicely takes me on to what Ava is currently up to. So I have found a new decoration for her, which she is currently building right here, and it itself is actually going to require some of these red concrete blocks as well to make. So I'm going to get her the concrete to make that up very quickly, and hopefully she will, because I have another idea of what I would like to do just in that little area there, just before we wrap up today's episode. But to begin with, we will just make her all of the red concrete powder that we require. I hope that's enough. And I should have a handy data pack installed that should just allow me to throw my concrete powder into the water there, which should automatically solidify it into actual concrete, which it has worked, so we now do have a lot of red concrete. So you take all of that, Ava, and I think you require some lanterns, and then you will get this decoration up and completed. So I'm quite happy just to sit back and watch Ava build away here. This really won't take too long to do. It's a fairly simple build. And that's it nearly finished there actually. So what we have is a really fancy gate, which I think is going to suit this area really well actually. And that's Ava just finished it there itself. So I am thinking that this will be quite nice to maybe have a matching one on the opposite side of this, and then we have our bridge system just spanned between the two of them. But yes, I actually really quite like that. So much in fact that I'm going to try almost replicate it just on the opposite side. But with our new cherry blossom leaves, I think we could maybe make a slightly nicer decoration, almost a roof of them, just over this walkway. Something maybe like that. I might go back and tidy this up, but it's at least the start of something here I think, and it doesn't look too horrible. So I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time thinking about some more decorations that we can place down in this new district here. But I think we've done alright for today, if we exclude the initial exploration part. But I think that's definitely enough for today then. So thank you very much for watching this episode of MineColonies Heaven and Hell. And as always, if you have enjoyed the episode, then why not give the video a like and subscribe to our channel as well, just to keep up to date with our playthrough here. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, bye for now everyone.